Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about the news that came out that the Washington football team is hosting former Titans wide receiver Adam Humphries for a free agent visit. We'll talk about his fit on the Washington football team, how much it would cost, and how this would affect the draft at the wide receiver position. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers, so please help me get there. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so first we will read the report, and this was reported by Tom Pelissero. So he said, former Titans wide receiver Adam Humphries is visiting the Washington football team, which is hoping to strike a deal per source. One of the NFL's better slot guys, Humphries is looking for the right opportunity, and Washington is making a push. So it seems like both sides really want to get this deal done, and I really do expect it to be done because he, phrased it saying, which is hoping to strike a deal, and he said, Adam Humphries wants a better opportunity. And one thing that's very interesting about Adam Humphries is that, his best 2 years of his career were in Tampa Bay with Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing him the football. So that is very interesting to think about. And I'll read this from John Keim, and he said, Washington has maintained a desire to upgrade at slot receiver so it can use Samuel at multiple spots. Quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick spent 2 years with Humphries in Tampa and told the coaches he's one of the best and smartest slots he's played with. So something to keep your eye out for. Ryan Fitzpatrick, very familiar with Adam Humphries, one of his favorite slot guys in the last few years. So I think this is a good match. He's a slot guy, and obviously some people are going to say, well, isn't that what Curtis Samuel plays? Well, Curtis Samuel is kind of a do-it-all guy. So, with Scott Turner, he mostly played on the outside, but definitely did play some in the slot. I think here, this time around, I think it's going to be a little bit of both. He's best suited in the slot, but he's also pretty good on the outside. So I think they're going to use him in the slot. I think they're going to use him on the outside. I think they're going to be using him out of the backfield. I think they're going to be, putting him in a bunch of different situations and not just a slot receiver. So that's why, if he's only playing slot, let's say 40% of the time, or whatever the number is, 50%, you're going to need another guy. And this probably spells the end for Steven Sims' career in Washington. And the first year had a bunch of promise, but that second year he just didn't grow at all. He actually regressed and was really, hurt us a bunch down the stretch with those fumbles as a punt returner. Real quick, let's check out Adam Humphries, his stats. So 2016 was really one of his first, better years. He played in 15 games, had about 55 catches for 622 yards and 2 touchdowns. In 2017, he had pretty much the same year, 631 yards and 1 touchdown. And next year, though, he caught 76 passes for 816 yards and 5 touchdowns. And again, that was with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that was only a couple years ago. The last couple years with the Titans, he really hasn't. He's struggled a little bit, not really playing. A bunch of Titans fans said when he's been on the field, he's been fine. It's just the issue has been he had a major concussion last year that knocked him out for a really long time, and he missed some games in 2019. So if he can stay healthy, I think Adam Humphries would be a really good signing, because you saw what he was able to do with Ryan Fitzpatrick in Tampa Bay. Maybe he won't put up that 800 yards, but he's still probably capable of putting up those stats he put up in 2016, 2017, around 600 yards. And if you pair him with Curtis Samuel, you have Terry McLaurin, Cam Sims on the outside, who knows, Kelvin Harmon, AGG, and maybe even a guy in the draft. He's ran the ball a little bit, but not much at all. He's not really a running threat. But something that is interesting, he has returned punts before, and only has lost 1 fumble in his entire career, not just punt returning, but also receiving. And, his special teams coordinator in Tampa Bay was Nate Katzer. So And obviously that's our special teams coordinator right now. So he could be the punt returner, and I personally would like that. We don't need a guy that can, that has to go the distance every time. We just need a guy who's consistent, that can get us some yards every time and hang on to the football. He had 1 year where he averaged over 9 yards a return. So if we can get that from him, that would be amazing, on top of what he can do as a slot receiver. And like I said, you could have obviously Terry on the outside. You could have Samuel and Humphries splitting time in the slot. And obviously sometimes, depending on the situation, they're both going to be on the field at the same time as slot receivers. And then obviously, Curtis Samuel can play on the outside as well. So how does this affect the draft? Well, it's going to be very interesting to monitor, what happens here, because obviously if they do sign Adam Humphries, he's going to be our slot guy along with Curtis Samuel. And that likely means we're not going to draft a slot receiver at all this year in the draft. The key thing is, though, John Keim has reported this, and a couple others said, they're looking for an upgrade at slot receivers. So if we don't sign Adam Humphries, they're likely going to take a slot receiver early, maybe a third-round pick, someone like Amari Rodgers, maybe the second round, someone like Rondale Moore or Elijah Moore. So if they can't get Adam Humphries, I think they will. But if they can't, expect them to make a move in the draft for a slot guy. And I still think there's a desire, if there's a guy they really like, whether it be, the second or third or fourth, I still think they might draft a receiver on the outside, because yesterday it was reported that they were interested in N'Keal Harry, who is an outside guy. So I wouldn't rule that out, and I wouldn't rule out drafting a receiver this year, even if we sign Adam Humphries. And just one thing that this, move, or it's not even a move yet, but what this tells me is that they are not done at the wide receiver position, and they still think they need to add more to it. They want to upgrade at the slot cornerback position, and even still on the outside if they can get some people that they like. So going to be a very interesting, next couple of weeks into the draft, what they do. And I expect this to happen, though. I wouldn't be ecstatic over it, but I think it's a solid move. We can get him for cheap due to his injuries the last couple of years. It's a low risk, possibly high reward signing. The guy's been proven in the past and can come in and make a solid impact for us. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you like Adam Humphries? Would you be willing to sign him? Or would you rather go for a slot receiver in the draft? Because there are a lot of really, really good slot receivers this year in the draft. Kadarius Toney, Amari Rodgers, Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, just to name a few. So let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you guys new. Hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. And peace, guys.